Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei Extras. Today we are going to be looking at Reddit MCC teams again. I'd like to give a formal apology to someone that I forgot about in the last video that I made. The reviewing Reddit MCC teams over here, my most recent upload. There's a person on the MCC Reddit that posts every single day. One team that it's like a prediction. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. Now, I've seen these posts in the past when I was scrolling through Reddit just on a whim, and I didn't realize that I didn't include them in my video. So I would like to give, here's the comment, I would like to give a formal apology to EastStick8113, whose posts we will be looking at now. I don't know how many we'll be looking at, probably just a few until I reach like a certain time amount, because I don't want to go for too long. But let's take a look, because you know, that they're very confident about their craft, and I would like to give them some insight as well. So here we go. First team, or rather the 126th team, I'm going to go from most recent to just backwards because I don't want to scroll all the way down. Jack Manifold, CPK, G Nelly, Tapple. I think this is a cool team. I don't know how good it is. I think it could be okay. Obviously, Callum and Harvey is a pretty solid duo. Jack has some moments where he's really performs really well. Usually that is on teams that are seen as strong in general. So I don't know how he would perform here. And G works well on a lot of teams, so I think the chemistry should work really well. Not sure how strong it is, but I don't mind it. I think it's pretty good. I like it. Next up, we have Blushy, Sapnap, Ponk, and Tina. I think this is a really interesting combo. I don't know how good it is. This feels a little on the weekend. However, Ponk it's a little unsure how good Ponk is, because obviously in Underdogs he showed a really good performance. However, that was Underdogs. How well is he going to do in MCC if he plays again? We don't know. I would assume probably 15th to 25th in between, but maybe he'll do better. We don't know. I think this team could be pretty balanced, maybe a little on the weekend for recent MCCs. However, I do like MCCs with balancing like this more. I think this team compared to this team is somewhat balanced. So yeah, I think it could be pretty interesting. I think the chemistry should work okay. So yeah, sure, that's a good team. Next up, in the Martin, Illumina, Ant Venom, Captain Sparkles. Now, this is a very strong team, or at least I think it is a pretty strong team, but a pretty interesting one. I don't think Illumina and Sparkles have teamed before. I could be wrong. Sparkles, Ant Venom, obviously a classic duo, classic rivalry being on the same team. And then Martin and Illumina works pretty well as a duo as well. I think it's happened like once or twice before. It could be more. I think combination-wise, this works well. I mean, it's a family-friendly team. It should work, you know, pretty well. I do think it's a bit strong, but sure. Next up, yellow team, Pearl, Scott, Tubbo, and Scar. Pretty interesting combination of people. I mean, Pearl, Scott, I imagine, would be a duo. Tubbo, Scar would be a duo. Obviously, Tubbo and Scott have teamed. Scar and Pearl are hermits. So there's a lot of, you know, a lot of combinations here that would work pretty well. However, I do think this team is a little on the weak end. Similar situation to plenty of, well, actually, similar situation to this team, where their top players or lead players work as lead players, or they could probably pull it off, but they're not typically the lead players. Also, having a not as, like, having an S tier or a whatever, like a top 5 or a guaranteed top 10 player as your best player, gives you someone to rely on, and it makes it so it's easier to, you know, face up against other teams. Whereas in this situation, there's no, I'd say 3 middle players, maybe a middle top players, and 1 middle lower player, which statistically may be balanced, but you run into an issue where if like a Sapnap goes against this team, they don't really have a player that is capable of like 1v1ing someone like that, right? Or like puns or whatever, right? You get my point, I think. So, you know, it works, but I don't think it's fair. Next up, Shovel, Ryguy, Pete, and Bekyamon. A very interesting combo. Obviously, Becky joining MCC very recently. Pete and Ryguy, I think, have teamed also once or twice before. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I think that they teamed in the first Scar team, didn't they? Something like that. Yeah, and then Shelby works everywhere. So, yeah. I mean, this team is a little strong. I don't remember how well Becky did. I assume in the middle last, or in their most recent MCC. Becky has a lot of potential, I think, in MCC. She's actually really good. I don't think Becky's like a top 10 S tier player, but I think an A tier or whatever the tiers are definitely very possible in a MCC soon. So yeah, I think it's a bit strong, but I do think the vibes are pretty good on this team. So yeah, I like it. All right, next up, Tommy, Gumi, Rambo, and Purple. Very broken team. I think it's obviously a very broken team. I imagine the idea here is Rambo, Purple. I know they both wanted a team with Tommy at some point, and then they got paired up together like 2 or 3 times in a row. I mean, it makes sense. Chemistry-wise, this will work really well. It's just a little broken, but I like it. It's a cool team. Next up, Blushy, Finster, 5UP, Hannah. Also a pretty interesting team. Also similar situation to the Tubbo, Scott, Pearl team, where they're good players, right? But they don't have a player that I think is... Actually, Hannah has the potential to face off 1 versus 1 against someone like Puns or someone like that. Obviously, 5UP also very good. Finster actually pretty underrated, I think. Finster's pretty good. And then Blushy also definitely carries her own weight. So I think it's pretty solid. I think it could be balanced. But I think it's risky, I think, as a team to see how well they will do. Next up, I've apparently seen this team before. Purpled, Foolish, Tubbo, Awesome Dude. Incredibly busted. Chemistry-wise should work pretty well, but that is very broken. SB, Fwip, Gumi, Pete. Also pretty strong, but I like it. It's pretty interesting. I'm moving through these a little bit quicker because I've apparently been going for a little bit. I'm sorry. Martin, Cub fan, Scar, Quig. Pretty strong. I think it could be pretty interesting. It's pretty strong, though. Sapnap, Rambo, Crank, and AMZ. Sorry. This is like the MCC Pride team, right? Except AMZ replaces Jacksepticeye. It makes it more balanced. I still think... Actually, it's probably a little weak. I could be wrong, though. Maybe I am wrong. But it's pretty interesting. I like it. I would love to see Crank return, because he's long overdue... What? Block Wars? Oh. Harvey, Tommy, Bad, Puffy. Now, I want to see the Harvey and Tommy duo. I don't know if... I think combining it with Bad and Puffy works, but I would like to see the Harvey-Tommy duo be more with a, like... swearing funny type team with like Sneeg and Connor, or like, I don't know, people like that. Michael would be cool with them. Phil, which would be a bit broken, or Wilbur would be perfect. So I think it works, but I would prefer to see a different duo with Harvey and Tommy. But maybe that's just me. Next up, JoJo, Scott, Solidarity Gaming, and Snifferish. Pretty solid. I think it's pretty interesting. Maybe a little bit weak, but I think it's cool. So yeah. Scott, Shovel. I don't know. My brain has stopped working. Shovel, Wilbur, Phil, Joel. A little bit weak, but the vibes would be great on this team. Yeah, I like it. Oh, I have to yawn again. Sorry. All right. Pearl, H-Bomb, Antfrost, Green. Very broken team, but I think it could work. I think it's pretty interesting. H gets the Hermits again, which he'll be happy with. I think Antfrost's team with Hermits a few times recently. I could be wrong. Maybe like once or twice. So yeah, could work. Ant Venom, Fruit, Wisp, Sparkles. What the? Very interesting combination of people. I do still want to see Fruit and Sparkles on the same team. I also want to see Fruit and Wisp on the same team. I like this one a lot. I think it's a good combination. Or at least there's like duos that I like. I think the combination could work. So yeah, I like it. Oh, let's see. This team is a little on the weak side. Not a little, it's actually pretty weak. Impulse, Green, Pearl, and Solidarity Gaming. Their lead player is Pearl, which could work, but I also think it's not very fair. But yeah, I like the idea of like a full Hermit team or an almost full Hermit team in this case. But yeah, I think it works. 5 Up, Velvet, Elena, Pete. I like this one a lot. This is a very cool combination of people. Yeah, I vouch for this one. Reddit? Oh, I don't know. Sorry. Jack, Wilbur, Purple, Rambo. Sure, yeah, I like this one a lot. Feels pretty familiar. I feel like this might have happened, or like, I know this hasn't happened. Oh, I know why this feels like it hasn't happened. I'm pretty sure Purple, Rambo, Jack, and Snifferish was a team. I could be wrong. It feels pretty similar. I think it works. It's cool. It's a cool team. I like it. Tommy, Charlie, Dream, Phil. Sure. I want to see Tommy and Charlie on a team. Dream, obviously, we don't know if/when he will return. And Phil works with the other two. Oh. Sorry. So yeah, I like it. Drew and Phil would also be a pretty interesting combination. I actually don't know how well that would work. But yeah, cool. Hey, Block Wars. I'll go till day 100. I think that'll be fine. Fruit, Cub Fan, Callum, and Scar. I like it. Fruit and Callum, I don't think... did I say that correctly? Fruit and Callum haven't teamed together, I think. So that could be an interesting duo. I think this one is pretty fair. I would vouch for this. Gem, Joel, Illumina, and False. Yeah, I like this. It's pretty balanced, I think. I like it. It's a good team. Shovel, Jojo, Scott, Amesy. I think it's on the weekend, like on the weaker side of teams, but it's cool. It feels pretty repetitive, but I could be wrong. Oh, jeez. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I'm sorry. I like this team a lot. H-Bomb, Awesome Dude, Sneak Snag, and Michael. Very cool team. I think it's pretty balanced. It might be a little strong, but it could be pretty balanced. Very cool approach to making a team. I think this one's pretty interesting. Hopefully something like this can happen. Even replacing, I don't know. I think I like Sneak and Michael as a combination because it's like SMP Life funny haha team. Put Harvey and Tommy on this team instead of Sam and H-Bomb. Perfect. Let's see. Day 102. All right. Oh my god. Dave, Sparkles, Martin, and Puffy. Obviously, Dave Sparkles has happened. With Puffy, makes sense. I think Martin works there too. Yeah, sure. Let's see, where's 101? Here we are. Sapnap, Sylvie, Wisp, Gumi. I like it. Feels pretty repetitive. Feels like if Wisp was like replaced by I'm not sure who replaced by who, but I feel like if you take out Wisp, it feels like a team that might have happened before. Here's okay. Sure, this seems cool. Here's day 100. Sam, Hannah, Velvet, Ant Frost. Yeah, I think this is cool. I think it's pretty no, it's not balanced. It's getting there. I like it. It's cool. All right, let's see 99 just to give a sneak peek. Yeah, that's a cool team. Pretty weak. Actually, no. It might be okay. I don't know. Anyways, that'll be it for this video. Again, sorry, EastStick8113 for ignoring your teams last time. I hope you appreciate my shared ideas and thoughts on your teams. And yeah, let me know what you guys want to see next. If you have any ideas, I will take anything, because I would like to still upload relatively frequently on this channel, but I also don't want to force myself to like daily upload the same thing. So yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.